It is time to play by a different ethical set of rules. In this new series, I want to return to one of my favorite subjects, which we haven't discussed for a while: corruption. Nothing does more to damage Africa than corruption. Africa will not reach its full potential unless we deal with corruption. The majority of Africans will not be prosperous unless we deal with corruption. Now, before I get into this topic, let me make it absolutely clear that corruption is not an African phenomenon. It is found everywhere. I have dealt with instances of corruption in America, Europe, India, China, New Guinea, and in the Middle East. Just about everywhere I have ever been, I have seen corruption. Some of the most corrupt people I have ever met in my life were not Africans. Corruption has no color, no religion, no gender, no age. Corruption is corruption. And make no mistake, both giver and receiver are corrupt. Some of the most corrupt people I have met were very poor, while others were very rich. Corruption is corruption. Corruption comes in many forms and guises. The truth is, many people are engaged in forms of corruption without even knowing it is corruption. Corruption has many names, including fraud, theft, kickbacks, bribery, stealing, bid-rigging, vote buying, nepotism, patronage, tribalism, racism, graft, embezzlement, price fixing, protection rackets. These are all names for forms of human depravity we call corruption. Corruption does not just occur in government, it happens also in the private sector and even in non-profit organizations. A policeman who demands a tip at a roadblock is as corrupt as a minister who demands a multi-billion-dollar bribe. I am yet to find a verse in the Bible which says there are different hells, just one, and they will both end up there. As a new generation of entrepreneurs, we must pledge ourselves to play by a different set of rules if we want to change the cycle of poverty in our beloved continent. We have to say no to corruption. Your fight against corruption will cost you something. It will cost you friends. It will cost you projects. It might cost you your business. It might even end up costing you your very life. Corruption will not end up until there is a generation prepared to pay the price to end it. What did Martin Luther King Jr. say? There comes a time when some must take a position that is neither safe nor politic nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. The word corruption comes from the Latin word corrumpere, which can mean to bribe, but also to mar, destroy, rot, seduce, tempt, contaminate, or infect. What does corruption mean to you? Winston Churchill said, "Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen." Let's talk about it. This is going to be a long series in which I share with you some of the most extraordinary instances of corruption I have had to deal with over the last 30 years. Most importantly, I will show you how I responded. I believe very strongly that we have a generation out there that is willing to fight to end corruption. We also have some amazing tools to take on corruption now at our disposal, including this social media. Proverbs 25:18-19. Telling lies about someone is as harmful as hitting him with an axe, or wounding him with a sword, or shooting him with a sharp arrow. Putting confidence in an unreliable man is like chewing with a sore tooth, or trying to run on a broken foot. One of the biggest challenges a business leader faces in ensuring that he or she puts in place institutional systems that protect them from people who tell lies Even if you are a lowly supervisor and have 5 people reporting to you, you are a leader. If someone walks in and tells you something, check it out carefully first before reacting, and make sure those who tell you no that you will check it out. I remember going to see a head of state in a certain country with one of his most trusted ministers. I sat there in total surprise and embarrassment as this minister told the head of state the most amazing fairy tale. The president nodded his approval as the story became more and more outlandish. After the meeting, I protested to the minister and he just shrugged and laughed, saying, I told him what he wanted to hear, and besides, he will not be able to check it out. I never went back there to do business.